Hi guys, welcome back to Thursday Top Lessons. Hope you liked the video so far. Please do subscribe to our channel. To be honest, I didn't really understand quite a few businesses in India and thought something was wrong with either their product or distribution or simply their revenue model. Yet some of them doubled their size in a time frame that shocked me. Little did I realize that this was a feature, not a bug. So this week we aim to understand how to scale businesses with this book called Blitzscaling, written by Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, and Chris Ye. So first, what is blitzscaling? Blitzscaling is derived from the World War II technique of General Heinz Guderian, who used the technique of blitzkrieg. It simply means that the pace of attack and the element of surprise overwhelms the opposition. It is quite counterintuitive to the traditional measured approach of decision making in wartime. Predictability and stability are very important in context of a stable and established market. But when the market is up for grabs, if you win, efficiency isn't that important, and if you lose, efficiency is completely irrelevant. So prioritizing speed over efficiency in the face of predictability is what it's all about. Blitzscaling occurs in an uncertain environment which leads to success or death in a very short span of time. The general sequence that flows, if done correctly, is you are a classic startup which has a growth phase which finds the product market fit. Then you blitzscale to gain critical mass, and then there is a fast scaling period in which business maturity and certainty comes, and then you get on the classic scale up growth where you basically become the industry leader. Just a small caveat here that uncontrolled growth is clearly undesirable. There is a scientific term for uncontrolled growth. It is called cancer. This means you need to have just enough control to fix the bugs while maintaining speed. Now, there are three techniques to blitzscaling. First, business model innovation. Second, strategy innovation. And the third, management innovation. First, let's talk about business model innovation. Dropping below a 40% annual growth rate is a red sign for investors. Blitzscaling businesses tend to play in winner takes all markets, so you need to have your growth intact. There are four growth factors that this book talks about. The first is market size. Investors love the bees, baby, so the scale has to be in billions and not millions. The second growth strategy is distribution. A good product with a great distribution always beats a great product with a poor distribution. The third growth strategy is high gross margins. So higher gross margins mean more cash to fund growth and expansion. And the fourth is network effects for sustaining growth. The famous billionaire Chris Sacca seems to have aced this parameter in both his investments of Instagram and Uber. You simply have to reach the tipping point fast enough. Now that we've talked about growth factors, what are the growth limiters? First, the lack of product market fit. Make sure that your product or service is relevant and desired by customers, and you constantly upgrade to stay relevant. And the second part is operational scalability, both in terms of human resources as well as infrastructure. So ensure operational scalability is always there. In the next section, we discuss strategy innovation. Now, the only time it makes sense to blitzscale is when you are really sure and determined that the speed is the only critical strategy to achieve massive outcomes. Premature blitzscaling is fatal for the organization as well as the market. Few factors to determine if the timing is right to blitzscale are: first, you need to assess if it's a big new opportunity in terms of market size as well as gross margins. Second, you need to have the first scaler advantage. Do not confuse critical mass with the first mover advantage. It is essential to have critical mass. Third, there has to be a learning curve. As we all saw, Netflix moved from DVD renting to video streaming to now producing content based on data preferences of its viewers. Fourth, competition. The more intense the competition, the faster you need to move. Fifth, you need to address the good as well as the bad times of the market. Now, when to stop blitzscaling? First, if there is a declining rate of growth, both in terms of relative to the market as well as the competition. Second, when there are worsening unit economics, it's time to stop pumping in money now. Third, there is decreasing per employee productivity. And fourth, increasing management overheads. These are all the red flags to stop blitzscaling now. So blitzscaling is basically an iterative process. Look at it as an exercise in serial problem solving through 5 stages. First, do things that don't scale. Airbnb basically had sent door to door photographers for hosts initially, highly unscalable. Second, reach the next stage of blitzscaling. They hired multiple photographers across geographies and they trained hosts on clicking good photographs. They also made the whole process more intuitive via tech. Third, figure out how to do one set of things that scale while finding another set of things that don't scale. Like, what is your next problem that was equivalent to sending photographers door to door? Fourth, reach the next stage of blitzscaling again by solving that problem. And fifth, repeat until you reach market dominance. In this whole exercise, the role of the founders also shifts from pulling the levers directly to taking strategic calls as the organization moves from a family to nation. So the transition is like family, a very close-knit group, then you become a tribe, people that think together, have a single cultural view of things, then you turn into a city where multiple other thought processes are brought into the organization, and then eventually you become a nation. With this, we come to the third technique, which is management innovation. The management has to face 8 key transitions. First, from small teams to larger teams. You have to look at your teams in such a way. So Marines are the startup people, Army is the scale up people, and the police is the stability people that bring in all these aspects to your organization. So accordingly, your approach, structure and processes shift. The second transition is from generalists to specialists. This doesn't mean that you simply bring on all the specialists in your team. You need to still retain your generalists as they can be redeployed much easily. Third, the transition is from contributor to manager to executive. So contributor to manager is a relatively easy transition, but finding executives is the real challenge, as not everyone can have the grand vision, strategic insight to drive business successes. Lots of founders remain managers, such as Steve Wozniak, and businesses hire executives from outside, such as Sheryl Sandberg to Facebook. The fourth transition is from dialogue to broadcasting. As the scale grows, you have to sort of change your communication to a broadcasting way in terms of town hall or multiple emails. Fifth is a key transition from inspiration to data. As Jeff Bezos says, if it comes to opinion, my opinion will always win over yours. So always back your opinion with data. The sixth transition is from single focus to multi-threading. You need to always visualize each thread as a single non-competing company. Seventh, as a lot of startup folks would feel, they need to transition from pirates to a navy. That means from offense to offense and defense. Eighth and the last key transition is scaling yourself from founder to leader. Delegation, amplification and making yourself better each day. Now there are certain counterintuitive steps or rules that this book advocates which need to be embraced in terms of essential and successful blitzscaling. So first, you need to embrace chaos, accept uncertainty and take steps to manage. Second, you need to hire Miss Right now versus the Miss Right. This means you simply hire the one who is right for the current phase of your company. Third, tolerate bad management. Transformation remains the name of the game. Launch a product that embarrasses you. So this is just to prevent analysis paralysis, but there is a fine line between fixable and fatal flaws. Next, let fires burn. This seems to be the most counterintuitive principle. You need to choose your urgent battles. The Maslowian hierarchy of fires is distribution, product, revenue model, operations, competition, and then finally, what's next? Ignore your customers. Let me repeat it again. Ignore your customers. This is a temporary solution until you fix the product or the distribution. but don't ignore their feedback while you deploy these fixes. But does this mean only startups can blitzscale? No. Scale companies can also blitzscale. The advantages that a scaled company has to blitzscale are as follows. First, scale. Scale provides you the critical mass already needed for blitzscaling, and then you can proceed into exponential blitzscaling. Second, iteration. You can finance multiple shots at your goal. Third, longevity. Patience for results to come out. Startups cannot survive that period. And fourth, mergers and acquisitions. You can simply buy a blitzscaling competition or a supplementary business to blitzscale your own organization. But there are certain disadvantages to scale businesses as well. These are incentives. Big organizations tend to favor cautious expansion rather than aggressive blitzscaling. This is simply because the penalty of a failure is much higher than incentive of a success. Second, unstaged commitment. To prevent a failure, a manager will put all the resources in a committed project. Third, public market pressure, which is the biggest. Public markets are monitoring bottom lines much more aggressively than VC markets. In VC markets, their focus is more on exponential top line growth. In this section, let's talk about China. China has massively blitzscaled in becoming the next Silicon Valley. This has been possible because of its 996 rule. This means 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. working 6 days a week. This could be drawn parallel to the Steve Jobs iconic 90 hours a week and proud t-shirt for the Macintosh team. But this is not sustainable. This has to be normalized if the business aims for longevity, which Apple also did. Now, what if your competition starts to blitzscale? There are only 3 options in front of you. First, beat them, or join them, or simply avoid them. Now to close, here's something on today's pace of change. The best and the worst part of today's pace of change is there are no experts with 10 plus years of experience in any domain. So blitzscale only when you meet all the above criteria. Otherwise, it will simply lead to a fast and painful death, which will impact not only your organization but the overall industry as well.